Saddam Hussein is notorious for torturing not only his citizens, but his family and friends. He often has his sons Uday and Hussein dole out the violent and sometimes fatal punishment. Two defectors from the family's inner circle spoke about the cruelty of the dictatorship for an article in Vanity Fair magazine. David Rose wrote that article, and he joins us now this morning from London. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
These defectors, can you describe them and what their relationship was with the Saddam Hussein's sons?
Yes, well, these two defectors came to my attention through the Iraqi National Congress, the main opposition group. They had been very close members of the personal entourage of Qusay and Uday, Saddam's two sons. They really lived their lives with these two guys for many years and had witnessed scenes of really great horror along the way, while themselves having benefited from that proximity to Uday and Qusay by getting quite rich.
Describe, what is it called? Falaka.
Falaka. Falaka is Uday's personal little specialty, and it really is quite disgusting. Wherever he goes, in the trunk of his car or in whichever palace he happens to be at the time, he likes to have with him a kind of club. It's often a wooden club with a metal inside to make it all the harder. And a wooden beam with plastic straps, and what he does is he hoists his victims onto this wooden beam, takes their shoes off, so that they're dangling with their feet pointing downwards, and then he beats them on the soles of the feet with the club. And after 10, 20, even 50 blows from this club, they're made to dance in absolute agony. I think one of the most horrifying things about this is that he doesn't do this to his enemies. This isn't something for political prisoners. It's what he does to his friends when they commit some minor transgression, when they say something out of turn. And sometimes he even does it to his girlfriends. If a girl is supposed to meet him and in some way doesn't match up to his expectations, he will have her hoisted onto the beam and give her falaka. And you just have to picture this scene of depravity. It's quite horrible.
Is this a way of helping developing a kind of a psychological profile of the ruthlessness and the sort of means of controlling the people who are closest to the Ba'athist Party and to Saddam and his sons?
Well, what I hope this article does do is give us a little bit of an inside view into that inner circle of the regime. And I think what emerges is that this isn't a regime based on ideology like Nazism or communism. It's a kind of psychotic gangsterism with Saddam at the head, but the two sons just able to do really whatever they please with immense power at their disposal, and the means of inflicting quite horrific suffering on those in their immediate circle and on the Iraqi people beyond. Of course, both Uday and Qusay played very major parts in the suppression of the uprisings that followed the last Gulf War in 1991. And one of the defectors was personally present when Qusay was interrogating prisoners, men, women and children, stripped naked in warehouses near Baghdad, people from the Shia districts of Baghdad. And he was interrogating them, and when they if they didn't give satisfactory answers, he was personally shooting them or having them shot. And, I mean, the defector describes how the floor was just awash with blood. He's actually sworn an affidavit for possible war crimes proceedings against both the brothers in the event of an Allied victory in the present war.
Which of the two sons killed one of his father's bodyguards? And I've got about 40 seconds left. And then what was the penalty they paid? And then, in turn, was brought back into the family again?
Yes, Uday, back in 1988, killed one of his father's closest associates, a bodyguard and pimp, frankly, at a party. And Saddam was absolutely furious. So he actually jailed his own son for a month. No, for more than a month, for about 3 months. And Uday himself was tortured in prison on his father's instructions. And then, having suffered this, he was brought back into the bosom of Saddam's family and given back all his old posts and privileges, as if nothing had happened.
Right.
In fact, Uday has twice shot people at parties. It's quite remarkable.
All right, David Rose, a stunning piece in Vanity Fair. Thank you so much.